So I started a new project. So this is the Stampede 4x4 VXL, and this is really the first hobby grade RC I ever owned. Now I picked this one up about 4 or 5 years ago and did a lot of customization to it. This is actually the original body, the body that came with the RTR when I bought it, and there's not too much after that is stock. I got the blue anodized aluminum carriers and hubs up front. I got the big bore shocks front and rear, aluminum shock towers, the Traxxas LED light bar kit, front and rear sway bars. This is a 2075X servo, which is a full Metal Gear servo from Traxxas. I have the aluminum brace in the center here. I got the conversion kit to actually make the battery tray higher up, so you can fit larger or higher batteries. I have the Traxxas, the CVDs. These are front and rear, high velocity CVD. And I have full telemetry throughout. The telemetry works on the Traxxas TQI radio and projects to your iPhone. So I beat this car pretty hard. I actually started parting it out. I used a lot of the stuff from this onto the Traxxas Slash. A lot of the parts from the Stampede are compatible on the Slash. And after having this on the shelf for a while, it's time to get it fixed up, get it back out bashing. So although I don't have the box anymore, I did pick up a brand new set of big bore shocks. I got the back and the front one on. I have one more to complete. This is a great swap over the original shocks. The original shocks are plastic. These are aluminum with a stiffer shock rod here. They are aluminum capped and a very quality shock. Not as pricey as the Pro line and a decent option. And originally this started out as the VXL, but the motor and ESC are gone. So I picked up the Hobbywing EZRUN Max 10 with a EZRUN 3652 3300 kV motor. Now the original motor is a 3500 kV, so I went down about 200 kV, but I don't think it's going to be such a big deal. I used to have a 3800 kV from Castle in this. That's of course removed, and I'll give the 3300 a whirl. So first things first, going to get this last shock on. Now I'm going to use the original springs that I was using. Take off the springs that come with the big bore, because they do recommend that you use the original Traxxas springs. Alright, so now that the shocks are done, I'm going to go ahead and start on getting this ESC and motor combo set up. Now this is a combo from Hobbywing, so you get the ESC and the motor, and everything is set up, ready to go. In the box you get a user manual, you get the ESC of course, you get some decals, and you get some accessories. You actually get an extra fan, which I find pretty cool. You also get some double-sided tape, and it looks like a little lead extension. Not really sure what that's for yet, but we'll figure that out once I get into this. The ESC definitely feels quality, nice aluminum case around it, and there's a little plug that comes off that monitors the motor temp. Now this ESC comes with an XT60 plug, which is perfect for me. This is what I run, XT60s. And for the motor. Now the motor is the EZRUN 3652 SL. It comes with the bullet style plugs already pre-soldered on, and it also comes with a little sleeve. This actually turns this 3.175 shaft into a 5mm shaft for certain applications. I won't need this for this Traxxas Stampede, but this is good to save for the future. On the back of the motor there is a little port. This is where the plug from the ESC goes into to monitor temperature. So this is a really simple install. Just have to mount the motor onto the Traxxas motor plate. This is actually an upgraded aluminum plate that I picked up, and the motor will be held onto this plate by 2 screws. Now this motor plate just simply clicks on to the bottom screw and swivels into place. For the pinion, I put on a 16-tooth Traxxas pinion that I had, and that'll be good for now. We'll see how this works out with a 3300 kV motor. The stock pinion is an 11-tooth, but I have dropped down about 200 kV. Now to set my mesh, I'm just simply going to drop a piece of paper in between the pinion and the spur, kind of give it a little push on the motor side just to press it into the spur, and then I'll go ahead and tighten up the screw. Once I know I'm happy with it all, I'll go ahead and Loctite it. So I'm going to move on, put the ESC in. First thing I'm going to do is plug in this little temperature sensor that goes into the back of the motor. And now I can go ahead and put my ESC in. Now there's not a flat really spot to put it. In the tray there's this little lip here And then you have where the center drive shaft is. The ESC really doesn't fit in there. So I'm going to look at some options, see what I can order up, some type of flat surface where I can mount this ESC and have it be more secure. But to continue testing everything out, I'll go ahead and get the motor hooked up. All I got to do is find the letters on the side of the ESC, C, B, A, and then run the wires from the motor. A to A, B to B, C to C. And then I'll run the lead from the ESC into my receiver box. Now this is a TQI receiver from Traxxas, so the ESC will go into channel 2 to go, and channel 1 would be steering, so I can go ahead and get that plugged in as well. So everything is set up for preliminary testing. Please check back on the channel while I test this thing, make sure everything works, get the telemetry and all that hooked up, get some tires, and get some other things hooked up to get this back on the road or trail or jumps, whatever. So I appreciate you stopping by, watching me get this Stampede back to life. Have a great night.